Miguel is running final. Oh, I forgot I had a makeover for my daughter today. We're obviously not going anywhere. Miguel is running errands. Final Christmas errands. It's like 3 days till Christmas. And it was 50 degrees like an hour and a half ago, and it has already dropped so much. It's freezing cold. It's so cold. So doing some final things, getting a heat lamp down by our chickens. It's supposed to be like 10 degrees tonight. He got the heater on in the greenhouse. I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit. Just think it needs to get a little bit hotter. Oh, all of our cardboard we had down at the garden is flying everywhere because the wind is blowing. So praying that greenhouse is stable enough and that everything stays good and safe and that we don't lose power, because sometimes just don't. So it looks very springy today, but the thing about Texas is the weather will get you in like a moment and it'll be freezing cold again. Like one morning it was freezing, the next morning when we woke up like at 6 a.m. it's 60 degrees.
Don't forget to come along and subscribe. Bye.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Never
Gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Never.
Yeah, you're never gonna get it when it comes to Texas weather, because like you literally cover all your pipes and all your like hose outlet things, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And then it gets to be like 60 degrees and you could use the water for something, but everything's covered. And then if you take it off and forget to put it back on, it's freezing. It's a mess.
Yep.
So we're just gonna tell you all about our experience. So we we built our house out here in the woods. We had to like build through for our driveway, and then we had to put in water because the house I grew up on used to be here, but it had been torn down after no one had lived in it for a while. And so the water well is how many feet that way?
About 300.
300 feet that way. And so we had to dig a whole new water line, and you did that. So you thing.
Well, we got the trencher out here and trenched. We trenched about 300, 400 feet of 3/4 inch PVC pipe. Laid that down, and then.
Well, we had to do all the work to get the well up and going again. Remember, we had to get the pump and all that.
Oh yes,
because we have this great footage.
We had this idea of having a submersible, a solar pump.
Because our electrical is on this end, like 500 feet away.
And our electrical was on the other side, so we thought, okay, well, let's just use a solar pump, because why not? And the reality is that you can't pump or create any pressure with a solar pump in regards to supplying a house. And so
we have these solar panels.
So many things we didn't know about that. Yeah, we have solar panels, chicken coops. So 2 Christmases ago.
Yeah, our first Christmas in our house. We were excited. We finally weren't having to travel. Yeah, we didn't have the kitchen ready. Didn't have a sink in, I don't think.
No, didn't have a sink.
We weren't having to go to like 5 million houses here, or parents come to us like 5 hours away. We were here. Everyone was just coming to our house. It's going to be great. We're so excited. And it still was great. But not without its challenges.
Yeah, but then, obviously we had no water.
And we had people over.
We had it covered and we had it insulated, but, when it's 30 degrees, we just were naive to the fact of how cold it can get.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have...
this year...
So we didn't have water for that Christmas.
Right. This year we were like, this is not happening again.
Thankfully, on that situation, I went and poured hot water over the areas where it was frozen, and by midday we had some hot water. This Christmas we prepared.
We were ready.
Yeah, I guess
we were doing all the things.
We had all the things put together.
We had the well shed done, so that's done.
Everything's covered up and sealed.
We put heat lamps at the chickens to be nice because it was going to be like 10 degrees. We got all of the water outlets covered.
Yep.
We got the greenhouse set up, and we were excited about that. We put all of our
covered
plants
up,
in there. It was all good and sound, and we put a heater in there, and we were ready for it to keep our plants that I've worked so hard at to keep those alive, and we were ready. And then it got to be 10, 14 degrees.
9 degrees.
9 degrees.
Got down to 9 degrees, and that's so unheard of at this time of year. 9 degrees.
Yeah. Our winter really comes in like February, and
really, even putting heaters and whatnot in the places where they need to be, it was still way too cold for those heaters to keep up. And
the heater actually...
Oh, well, then the heater was pulling so much, it was just way too much load. And breaker blew, and more
We had
things
no
than that.
water again.
We had no water again for Christmas.
But here's the thing. I had this like thought of like, this is like Friday before Christmas. So the 23rd, and I was like, we're having people over for dinner. Do I cancel? We don't have water. What do we do? And I was like, no, we're going to do this. We can make it happen. We had some big old jugs of water, thankfully. And so we were able to flush toilets, wash dishes. It just took a little harder work. Like, I just embraced it and like did the dishes with like boiling water from our electric kettle and things like that. And we just did it. And we worked together and made it happen. And then the same, Christmas Eve night, he's wrapping presents and I'm washing all the dishes because I still cooked cookies and did all these foods that I had for Christmas Day for people coming over. And I just hand washed all these. I mean, we hand wash anyways. We don't have a dishwasher, but it's a whole nother level when you're having to like heat up the water to wash them and then pour water out to try to like rinse them. It was just like a whole experience.
Going to get the water from someone else's house.
Yeah.
And filling up, 6-gallon containers.
But we did it. So all I had to say, one, things are not always going to work out how you plan them.
And then at the same time,
Even when you're prepared.
Having animals that need water, cows drink 5 gallons a day.
Yeah.
And so having to make sure that they have enough water. And then
Yeah.
dogs, cats, chickens, I mean, everyone needs water.
And everybody's water's frozen and having to try to break the ice in it and all the things. But things won't always work out how you have planned, even when you are very prepared. Like, we were actually very prepared this year and it still didn't work out. But we just embraced it. We worked together and we still had people over and had a wonderful Christmas without running water. Here's a great example of things going wrong when you least expect them to on a homestead. This is a couple days before Christmas. We woke up one morning thinking we were just going to relax and enjoy our morning, and we realized our cows were out of their pen. Thankfully, we found them behind our house searching for some fresh grass, but it was 20 degrees outside. We were all still in our pajamas, but we worked and got the calf's milk bottle ready, and she quickly came over to the pen to drink her milk. And then I was able to get our big cow, Peggy Sue, back to the pen with some grain by slowly getting her to come eat out of my hand. Thankfully, we trained them to eat out of our hand. We got them back in their pen safe. Continued on with our morning. And I mean, a lot of my plants in the greenhouse,
They're gone.
did die. Maybe they'll come back in the spring. We're still gonna work to try to get some like heat in there going for the colder days in February.
Off a separate breaker.
Yeah, off of a separate breaker, which is just a little bit more work, but we can do it, and it will help us like preparing seeds and stuff for the spring. But it was a little disappointing because we got this greenhouse, we prepped it, but I just had to like